All right, we're going to cover Social Security, which seems to be a popular topic for some. When I use the term Social Security, most will recall the bankrupt government program and begin to wonder if we'll ever get a part of our cash, but that's not what we're going to cover today. Online, it's important for us to be aware, to be safe, and to be sure that our systems and our information are secure. One of the treats comes from third parties. And if you're a Facebook user, you've probably been asked for applications to allow a program to access your information. Sometimes you get an invitation to connect with someone you don't even know. These are actions that I would personally recommend you stay away from. Remember, in your social networking life, you want to mirror the actions that you take in real life. Would you allow a complete stranger access to your personal information in your real life? It's important to remember, real life when living in social networking life. The privacy settings in the social networks can be set to prevent anyone from seeing your information unless you allow them to connect to you. This will prevent strangers or predators from accessing your information when you really don't want anyone to know. Consider a robber who's casing your neighborhood. He asks to connect to you. He hangs out quietly in your network for a few months, and then when you post pictures of your beautiful vacation you're enjoying in the Bahamas, he very casually begins to pilfer through your home without any fear of being caught. Why? Because you're on the beach just 4 minutes ago with a picture that you posted of your toes in the sand. Do you know who you're connecting to? Be sure that you know who you are allowing to see your information. Passwords allow you to access every area of your social graph. Every time you log into a website, be it Facebook, Twitter, your email, your bank account, any private site, you enter a username and a password. Do this today. Change your passwords and use a different password for each site. Consider if you get hacked and the hacker identifies your password to one site, chances are you have the same password for other sites as well. Another bad idea is to use passwords that represent something in your life. In other words, if your birthday is October 27, 1962, do not use 102762 as your password. Or if you live at 1792 Main Street, don't make your password 1792 Main. And when the secret question asks you to enter your high school mascot as a clue, don't answer Bulldog. Remember, in your Facebook account, you've listed your high school, and many times it says right there that you graduated in 1975 as a Mason High School Bulldog.
Yeah.
A good rule is to use passwords using both capitals, lowercase letters, numbers, and special characters. Sometimes you can even spell a familiar word or a phrase using this rule. For instance, the word social media might be spelled this way.
That's funny.
There are actually some tools that allow you to store usernames and passcodes in an encrypted format and then simply enter a code word that will access the tool to populate your username and passcode whenever you enter a site. These are a couple of websites you may want to visit to obtain those tools. We have all asked, can anyone learn what my password is when I'm so protective of it? Let me review a conversation I had recently with an FBI agent who's in charge of the Cyber Crimes Division here in Tennessee. We have all seen these very little and convenient thumb drives. They hold an enormous amount of information. And people give them away at trade shows. Your kids use them to transport homework, and they're very handy for sharing music and pictures and videos. Many times, a friend might just innocently hand you a thumb drive to allow you to download a song or a picture Or it might be a work colleague that's giving you a copy of a spreadsheet on their thumb drive. Some of these thumb drives have programs preloaded that log every keystroke that you make, and they send those logs out through the internet without you ever knowing. Imagine you insert a thumb drive, you transfer a spreadsheet that you're working on, and while the spreadsheet is downloading, the keylogger program sneaks in as well. The keylogger program hides in the corner of your computer, never allows you to see it. Every keystroke you enter is recorded, including the web address of your bank, your email account, your Twitter account. It also attaches the usernames and the passcodes for every one of those sites. The keylogger program is set to access the internet every 24 hours, let's say at 3 a.m., and it transfers all that information, all your private data, off to a designated website. And the owner of that site might not do anything with that data today. But when they are ready to attack, they have all the ammunition that they need. The most important policy I can stress for you is use different passwords. Change them often. Do not click on anything that you don't absolutely know, and do not share anything with anyone that you don't know. Web 2.0 and social media sites are high-value targets for hackers. Large quantities of personal and organizational information. Your information is very valuable. We can all imagine the financial dangers. The social dangers could be someone posting negative or harmful content, perhaps a disgruntled employee, or accessing sensitive information and sharing it, acting on your behalf without you ever knowing it, stealing your personal data, or spreading a virus. I'm sure some of you have probably seen through Facebook these notices that come through with a little attachment, a text attachment that says, is this really you in this video, or what are you doing in this video? And it's very tempting to click on that link to go see that video. However, that's a virus and you don't want to do it. In a recent interview I had with Sal Ortega, the Director of Network Security at Vanderbilt University, talks about the value of data. 3 pieces of data are worth $10 to $12. Things like your name, your address, social security number. 8 to 10 pieces of data are worth up to $90. Social security, credit card, school mascot, street, mother's name. It is important for you to know that data is valuable to a skilled hacker. He suggests that we keep this picture in mind and follow it religiously. And then click. Don't just click. The challenge that we're faced with is how can we leverage the positive aspects of this emerging set of tools while ensuring that we don't create unacceptable risk for our business. Number 1, determine the appropriate use in an organization. Number 2, ensure that your employees have proper awareness and training. Not if we use these tools, but how we use these tools while embracing security's best practices.